The distress signal came through at 0400 hours, sharp and urgent against the silence of the Viridian Research Outpost. Commander Thexlar's scales rippled with concern as he read the report. 2 juvenile Krothan cubs, barely 6 months old, had vanished from the xenobiology containment zone. The Krothan were apex predators from the death world of Kraval Prime, 300 kilograms of muscle, fang, and instinct even in their youth. Losing them inside a station with 73 sentient beings, including 12 humans, was a nightmare scenario. Seal all sections, Thexlar ordered, his translator rendering his clicking mandibles into standard. Find them before they harm someone. The search teams fanned out through the station's corridors, thermal scanners sweeping every shadow. The cubs had been raised in captivity, hand-fed by the xenobiology team. But instinct was instinct. Fear made even domesticated creatures dangerous. It was Dr. Rin who found them first. The human xenobiologist had been checking the residential quarters when she noticed the scratches, deep gouges in the composite flooring leading toward the human habitation wing. Her breath caught. The human families lived there. The children. Rin activated her comm with trembling fingers. Commander, I've found their trail. Section 7. Residential. They're heading toward. She stopped mid-sentence. The cubs sat motionless in the corridor, flanking a door like statues carved from shadow and sinew. Their eyes, typically wild with predatory alertness, were fixed forward with an intensity Rin had never seen in captive specimens. They didn't move. Didn't even acknowledge her presence. Commander, Rin whispered. You need to see this. When Thexlar arrived with the security team, weapons raised, Rin held up a hand. Wait! Look at their posture. The Krothan cubs sat in perfect symmetry, their massive bodies blocking the door to quarters 7C. Their ears weren't flattened in aggression. Their lips didn't curl back from their fangs. They simply watched, guarded. Whose quarters are those? Thexlar asked. Rin checked her datapad. The Kovac family. Marcus, Elena, and their daughter. Her eyes widened. Mila. She's 5 years old. Get them out immediately, Thexlar ordered. Rin approached carefully, keying the door chime. No response. She tried the override code. The door slid open a crack, and both cubs tensed, a low rumble building in their chests. Not quite a growl. And disgramma. This one. Adeclams. A warning. Stand down, Thexlar commanded, but Rin raised her hand again. They're not threatening us, she said slowly. They're protecting something. She knelt down, making herself smaller, and peered through the gap. Her heart seized. Little Mila lay curled on the floor just inside the doorway, her breathing shallow and labored. Her skin had taken on a grayish pallor that Rin recognized immediately. Theta syndrome. A reaction to the station's recycled atmosphere that sometimes affected human children. Without treatment, she'd slip into a coma within hours. Medical emergency, Rin called. The child is ill, but the cubs won't let us through. Thexlar's mandibles clicked in confusion. How did they even know? The sensors should have. Human children often hide when they're sick. Rin interrupted, pieces falling into place. They get confused, scared. Mila must have crawled here and collapsed. But the cubs. She looked at the massive predators with new understanding. They sensed her distress. They came to protect her. Ridiculous, Thexlar hissed. They're predators, not nursemaids. But Rin remembered the stories, the old Earth tales of animals protecting human young, of dogs that wouldn't leave injured children, of cats that alerted families to danger. Humans had lived alongside beasts for millennia, had formed bonds that defied logic and hierarchy. And these cubs, raised by human hands, fed by human care. Let me try something, Rin said. She sat down cross-legged in front of the cubs, making no sudden movements. Hey there. Big ones, she murmured in the soft voice she'd used during their bottle-feeding sessions. You're doing such a good job. Such good protectors. One cub's ear twitched. Recognition. But Mila needs help now. Human help. You did your job, you kept her safe. You're very good, cubs. Very brave. She extended her hand slowly. Palm up. Will you let me help her? Please? For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, the larger cub, the female they'd named Shadowpaw, turned her massive head and looked at her brother. Some silent communication passed between them. Slowly, deliberately, they shifted apart, creating a narrow passage between their bodies, an invitation. And a test. Rin moved forward on her knees, passing between creatures that could tear her apart with a single swipe. She felt their hot breath on her shoulders, their eyes tracking every movement. But they didn't strike. She reached Mila and checked her vitals. Medical team, now. Theta syndrome. Advanced stage. The medical team rushed in with a stretcher and emergency kit, administering the treatment that would flush the toxins from Mila's system. Through it all, the cubs watched but didn't interfere, as if they understood these humans were there to help, not harm. As they carried Mila away, the little girl's eyes fluttered open. She saw the cubs and smiled weakly. Good. Doggies, she whispered. The cubs followed the stretcher all the way to medical, their self-appointed vigil continuing. Later, after Mila had been stabilized and her grateful parents had been reunited with her, Rin found Thexlar in his office. I've studied 17 predator species, the commander said quietly, and I've never seen anything like that. They abandoned safety, crossed 3 sections of an unfamiliar station, and stood guard over a member of another species. It defies every survival instinct. Rin smiled. That's the thing about humans, Commander. We don't just coexist with other species, we befriend them. We earn their loyalty. Those cubs weren't born knowing to protect Mila. They learned it from us. From watching how we care for our young, how we protect what we love. She looked through the window at the medical bay, where the 2 massive cubs lay curled at the foot of Mila's bed, her small hand resting on Shadowpaw's head. Humans have been doing this for thousands of years, Rin continued. We take wolves and make them dogs. We take wild cats and make them companions. We find the bond between species and we nurture it. It's not just what we do, it's who we are. Thexlar's scales shimmered with something that might have been respect. Perhaps that's why you humans are so dangerous, he said. You don't conquer through force alone. Rin laughed softly. We prefer to think of it as making friends. In the medical bay, Mila stirred and giggled as a rough tongue licked her hand. The scouts had reported the cubs missing. They'd been found standing guard, doing exactly what their human family would have done.